12 drivers, 10 races, 1 Nextel Cup. Gentlemen, start your engines. The chase is on. Hi, I'm Amber Wilson, and this is the BF Goodrich NASCAR Report. Well, we're finally here. NASCAR's version of the postseason is finally upon us after Jimmie Johnson's second consecutive win, this time at Richmond. The 48 car solidified position number 1 as we take a look at each driver vying for stock car glory. Johnson joins fellow Hendrick heavyweight Jeff Gordon at the top of the field. Not only did he come in winning the last 2 races, but in 5 of the last 6 races, the Lowe's Chevy also finished in the top 5. Teammate Jeff Gordon got off to a hot start, but has not won a race since the Pocono 500 on June 10th. Tony Stewart won 3 races over a 4-race stretch in the summer, capping off that hot streak with the checkered flag at Watkins Glen. Carl Edwards looks to be ready for a push in the chase after winning at California, then finishing runner-up at Bristol, going into last weekend's race at Richmond, only to have engine trouble hurt his momentum. Kurt Busch was sitting on the bubble to make the chase going into August. Not only did he get off of it, but shot up the standings after his pair of late summer wins vaulted him to 5th. As for Denny Hamlin, this weekend's race is a huge opportunity. Hamlin won the last race at Loudon back on July 1st. If experts had to pick a DEI driver to make the chase in the beginning of the season, odds are they picked Dale Earnhardt Jr., but it's teammate Martin Truex Jr. that's actually in it. Matt Kenseth's strong start to the season helped him get there, but needs to pick it up as he's only been in the top 5 once in the last 7 races. Kyle Busch didn't let his ouster from Hendrick Motorsports distract him from staying in the thick of things, but his only win came in the 5th race of the season, and his next best finish was 2nd back in mid-July. Jeff Burton quietly raced his AT&T Chevy to 10th in the chase. Kevin Harvick was in a free fall in the standings, hanging on to the 11th spot. His best result since July came this past weekend with a 7th place finish at Richmond. And Clint Bowyer gets into the chase despite not winning a race this season. He's finished no better than 3rd this entire year. And now we bring in our very own NASCAR expert, Pete Pistone. And Pete, the big news at Richmond wasn't so much who made the chase, but who didn't, with Dale Earnhardt Jr. out again for the 2nd time in 3 years. Does not having Jr. in the playoffs hurt NASCAR?
Well, Amber, I don't think it hurts NASCAR that Jr.'s not in the chase. I mean, obviously they would like him in the championship run, and I think that's the reason they expanded the field this year from 10 into 12 to maybe have a shot for all the superstars to make it. But, you know, the chase survived a couple of years ago without both Jeff Gordon and Dale Jr. not in the chase. And the unique format is that although there'll be 12 drivers racing for the title, all 43 drivers on the track have a chance to win. So Jr. will be part of this picture here in the final 10 races. And probably like Tony Stewart was last year when he wasn't in the chase, I expect Dale Jr. to be a factor and maybe roll into victory lane a couple of times here in the last 10 races.
Pete, Jimmie Johnson is hot at the right time, taking a 2-race winning streak into the start of the chase. What turned the number 48 team around recently after such a disappointing summer stretch?
Well, you know, I think Chad Knaus coming back has helped Jimmie Johnson and that whole number 48 team. You'll remember he was suspended for those infractions found at Sonoma in June. And, you know, not coincidentally, the team struggled in the summer months. And now when you have Chad back on top, they're really starting to hit their stride, as Jimmy said, after winning the race in Richmond and peaking at the right time going into the chase. And I think that the Knaus-Johnson chemistry has really been a factor for that.
As we enter the chase this weekend, who's a sleeper in the field of 12 that we should watch for as the playoffs roll on?
Well, the one guy that would concern me if I were the favorites, which I consider to be Jimmie Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and Tony Stewart, is Kurt Busch. He came in with kind of a late season rush. He has won a championship before, and we talked about the chemistry between Chad Knaus and Jimmie Johnson. The chemistry between Kurt Busch and his crew chief, Pat Tryson, has been magnificent. And they are both guys that I think can make some noise if they can put things together in the chase.
Okay, and a return trip to New Hampshire kicks off the 2007 edition of the chase. Who will be up front in Sunday's Sylvania 300?
Well, we're going back to New Hampshire for the 2nd time. It's a 1-mile track, and it's the COT that has really led over the course of the first 11 COT races as a formula for Hendrick Motorsports' success again. So I expect Jimmie Johnson and Jeff Gordon to be up front. But Denny Hamlin loves fast and flat tracks. That's what New Hampshire is. Watch out for that FedEx Chevrolet. The number 11 car could make some noise here. And if he can get off to an early good start in the chase, he might be someone that's a factor here in this title run.
All right, thanks as always, Pete. We look forward to your analysis all throughout the chase for the Nextel Cup. Be sure to tune back in next week when we take a look at the Dover 400. But if you miss anything on the BF Goodrich NASCAR Report today, Stop, refresh, and rewatch. For Pete Pistone, I'm Amber Wilson.